Hello,
What's
everybody.
up, good people? It's Tuesday,
Absolutely.
October the 17th, and key players are live once again. Thank you. What's up, Zai?
Hey,
Thank you for tuning
everybody. Hey,
in.
Zai.
Make
Hey,
sure, like
Dylan.
we always ask and request, once you come on, please share and share again and share some more.
Hey, Phoebe. Hey, Miss Sheila, Dylan. What's up? It's Tuesday night. Y'all
It's
know what that
Tuesday.
means.
Share, 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 share.
Thank you for joining us once again. Like Savalis said, if you don't know who we are Keisha and Savalis Rogers, and we make up key players. We are marriage enthusiasts, marriage motivators. We don't claim to know everything, but we know a little something.
A little something. What's
A
going
little
on,
something.
LaWanda?
So we just want to say that. And before we get started, we want to say thank you to everyone who came to Linked Brunch. It was
Yes.
awesome and amazing. We really appreciate your support. And hopefully this won't be the last event that you will attend because we are currently planning for a retreat for next year.
Yes, we
so
are.
we're excited about that.
And just in case you was that clip you saw at the beginning was just, although be it fuzzy, just some of the highlights from our event link that my wife previously spoke of. What, 2 weeks now? It's been a week? A week ago. Last weekend on Saturday. So we just wanted to show what you missed. You should have been in the house.
Exactly.
Even though there were several obstacles that were placed in front of us at last minute, God still blessed us and we were still able to do what it is that we do and have a decent event, and everybody had a good time and we got great feedback. So it was awesome. So
Absolutely.
thank you for all of those who showed up. If you didn't make it, you should have been there. You missed some good conversation, some good food, some good game. And you missed out on meeting some new people.
That's
linking
right.
with some new people.
Absolutely.
So when you see us put an event up, something we're having, you may want to come.
Absolutely.
So we're planning this retreat for next year. Hopefully we'll have the information before the year's out.
Yep. Hopefully
to give you plenty of time to get ready, and that's what we're doing next. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Cynthia.
What's up, Woody Wood?
Okay, so we're going to get started because this right here.
Speaking of linked.
Yeah, speaking of linked. If you've been to any of our events, you know about this box right here. And this box right here is a box that hold a lot of good stuff. And it's anonymous questions. Mm-hmm. So at any of our events, we ask the couples to put in anonymous questions. Do not put their name on it. And just from marriage questions A to Z. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get finished with some of the questions that was in the box from Saturday. So right. We are going to read those questions out of this box, and we need your input tonight because somebody is, they need this. They're asking. So someone. Yeah. So if your input would be,
either they on live or they may watch the replay.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, Woody. Hey, Nicole. So let's go with the first question. All right. I just pull them out. Okay. The first question says, the kids are moving back in and my husband has a problem with it. With the cost of everything, apartments in general, how can I let my husband know it's our duty to help our kids, especially when they are trying?
What's up, Mike? I'm assuming these are adult kids.
To move back in.
I'm assuming these are adult kids. I wonder, are they coming back in with a plan? You know what I mean?
This person said they are trying.
But what is your definition of trying? Trying could be you go on the computer one day and fill out one job application all day and that's it. Or submit one resume. So what is trying? What is your plan? Enter into my home with an exit plan.
Right. That's how most. So you're not against them coming back.
No, but come back with a plan.
Right. I feel like they can come back as long as they're doing good and like he said, have a plan, and then we agree. Okay.
Right.
Like we come up with a time frame or what have you.
Right. But they are clearly not in agreement because based off what you just read, the dad is not with it, right? Is that what am I?
The kids are moving back in and my husband has a problem with it.
Right.
So yes, with the cost of everything, because we know how stuff is expensive. Like stuff in Raleigh is bananas, like for a 1-bedroom apartment. Mm-hmm. So I don't have a problem with them if I have a 4-bedroom house and
what's
the
up,
rooms are empty. I don't have a problem with them moving back in, especially if I know that they are, working towards to get out.
If they are, being a dad, I think, and I don't know who submitted that question, but I think the issue may be how they left, because you got to consider that, did they leave the right way?
Do they respect your home?
Do they respect the home? You know what I mean?
Right.
And do you have an exit plan?
Do you have an exit plan? So what y'all think about that? What you think about the kids moving back in? Right. And
he probably is happy being an empty nester. Let's just keep it real.
I mean, yeah.
He's probably glad to be an empty nester, Everybody don't like that, but he's probably enjoying it.
But I just feel like every now and then we've run into.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Something.
I had to go back home briefly. It won't long.
I went home for a week. I think it was a week. I couldn't do it.
Right.
I was like, Lord, I got to go.
Yeah, it was not long.
Just as long as they have a plan. That's what Dylan said. They definitely need a plan.
They got to have a plan. Right.
Nicole said, also if they are carrying the weight as well. So that's another thing. So you saying charge them, right? Right. Or you saying charge them, or they have to help out around the house? Or are you saying both, Nicole?
Me personally, I wouldn't want to charge them, because I want them to save as much money as they can to exit. And I'm just keeping it real. No, keep your money. I want you to save so you can go.
Okay.
Now that's just me. Now then again, I guess it depends on how long they stay. Now, are you coming with child? Is it you and your child? Is it you and a spouse? You know what I mean? That question can,
Can't come in. She said can't come in and eat all the food. Both.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we charged our son when he needed to move back. Yeah.
Right. So it's different, but me, I want you out, so keep your money. Absolutely. If you're going to be there a short period, yeah, you hold on to that, save it. But you got to be, like I said, you got to enter into my home with an exit plan to leave.
It came with the child and gave him a deadline.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Yep. That's right. That's the best way.
All right. Here's another question. Even though we're married, I feel like a single parent. How can I get my spouse to help with our child more physically and financially?
So, how do you get wait a minute? How is the spouse not helping financially if y'all married? I don't understand that.
Right. Is it the money coming from the same pool?
Is the money?
But it can happen, though. It can really happen.
Somebody said we in this situation right now. I'm not sure. Or Phoebe.
We're in this situation right now. We're in this situation now, and it's rough, but definitely have a plan and set a deadline. Oh, she's talking about the
previous question.
Right, the previous question. We're on delay.
Okay.
So let me read this question again. Even though we're married, I feel like a single parent. How can I get my spouse to help with our child more physically and financially? It can happen because I was in it, so I know it can happen.
Explain.
Right?
You can talk about it.
I was in it, so I know it can happen, right? So when the person is not, even though you're married, sometimes the monies are not mixed, or you the one carrying the loads, and so you know what I mean. Yeah. So you can. That does happen, unfortunately, when you're not together on one team.
Wow, you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it's hard to believe.
And then you may find yourself, if the child is playing sports or what have you at school, and you're there, and the other parent. Now, unless they working, that's a different story. Right. Unless they working, that's a different story. And then y'all tag team, y'all work together. Right. But it is some households where the parent feels like they're the only one doing everything. Believe it or not. But my thing is, you have to communicate and really get your point across. Like, explain to look, I need your help. Right. Because if that starts to happen and the spouse is not helping, then it's going to become bitterness. And Nicole spoke to what I was getting ready to say. Get to the root. Why are you not working as a team? Because it's bigger. To me, if y'all that divided when it comes to the kid, y'all probably divided on a whole lot of other issues. Because teamwork in marriage should cover everything from parenting to the finances to household, everything. So I was leaning towards what you're saying. Y'all probably not working as a team on nothing. Right. If she or he, I guess it's she or he, feel like a single parent, y'all not a team. And then let me throw a monkey wrench in there. Say if one person has spouse has a set of rules, but you don't feel like that's not you doing your own thing over here. Right. So right. That's still not been together on the team. Correct. Right. So then you feel like you left out alone, but y'all haven't came together to what's the good. And then make it carry is the spouse
active, but not active the way you want it.
Exactly.
Is that the issue? You know, that could be the issue. Is the spouse providing, say, your child may want a new iPhone, and one spouse is like, this child is too young for that, so I'm not going to contribute to that. That's not you being a single parent.
Right.
That's one person making a financial decision that this child should not have an iPhone. So you can't twist and turn that into you're not supporting me financially, because people do that.
Yep.
People will take what you're not doing that they think you should do and say you're not supporting them.
Yep.
That's not fair to them.
That's true. Hey, Chris.
That's not fair to them.
See, that was on here. Hey, Miss Emma.
Hey, Miss Emma.
So that's good. That's good.
That's a good point.
Okay. Here's another one. What do you do if you feel like your partner is not your soulmate anymore? What do you do if you feel like your partner is not your soulmate anymore?
Now, this one was one of the questions that we did go over at the event, but it was just so heavy, you know, and so deep, you know. God, first of all, if that's you, I feel bad for you. I feel sorry for you, because that's got to be a miserable position to be in.
Yep.
You know, if you feel like this person who was once your soulmate now isn't, I can only imagine. Pray, always pray. But after praying, then what? You know, then what?
I think you have to get to the root of the problem of that too.
Yeah.
Like you got to.
What caused the separation?
You was in love at one time, right? What came in and caused you guys to split, or
what caused the separation?
For your heart to feel like that, or his, you know, her or his heart.
Who took the soul from your mate? What happened? You know, to cause you to feel like this person is, because soulmate, that's a heavy title to give someone. Soulmate. If you really dig into it and look deep into it, now to say that that person is no longer your soulmate, because that could be you talking from an emotional standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just upset, or you hurt, or you all haven't resolved the issue, so you jump straight to this person is no longer my soulmate. Be careful what you say. You know, your words have power. So get out of your emotions and out of your feelings, and get, like Keisha said, get to the real issue, to the root of the problem.
Absolutely.
Now, if that's the case, that I don't know, we're not advocates for staying in relationships that you're not happy in, correct?
Right.
That you don't feel fulfilled in. I know people getting off subject. What's going on, Shaquan? Keisha and I heard people say this forever. Well, divorce is not in my vocabulary. And I'd be like, really? You know, it's nowhere in your vocabulary? I remember we was at a couples event one time and somebody said that. So I said, so you came home and some dude is smashing your wife, and you walk in and catch it. Divorce is not on the table?
That's extreme.
I mean, but it happens. It has happened. So we don't say that. Now, it shouldn't be the first option.
All right.
You know, we say that, you know, but people who say that, I look at side-eye. I'm just saying, I don't care who you are.
Nicole said, people fall in and out of love. People change. Don't be quick to give up.
Don't be quick to give up.
Do not be quick to give up.
Don't be quick to give up.
Your soulmate doesn't always have to be someone you romantic with.
Huh?
That's what Phoebe said, that you're romantically with.
Really?
Explain more, Phoebe.
Explain that, because I always link romance, romantically, and soulmate together. I never heard anyone say that.
So explain that. She said, really?
Phoebe said, no, she's saying really.
Like, really? Oh, okay.
I've never heard that.
She's saying, like, really? You never heard that?
No, I have never.
Oh, okay.
Anytime I heard someone use the phrase soulmate, it was in a romantic way. But hey, we here to learn.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, the next question is what to do different. Okay, I don't know if this is a question. What to do different sex drive for? What to do for different sex drives when one wants it more than the other? You better get Miss Sheila. You better get you some maca. Miss Sheila turned us on to that.
Oh yeah.
And then it could be like the woman, like we said before, the woman could be going through menopause. And sometimes in menopause, you know, things change if she's at that age or what have you. I mean, it could be medical issues as for the man. You know what I mean? He could be on certain medications. So
wait a minute. Read that question again.
It's sex drives.
Sex drives. Okay.
Yeah, what to do for different sex drives when one wants it more than the other.
Okay, because I was reading, Darlin said role play, but is that going to help if you already with somebody who don't want it?
What, role playing?
Yeah.
And what if your partner don't like the role play?
What if your partner don't like role playing?
Right. So that's a whole nother issue right there. Yes, it does. What? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does to what? Darlin said the blue pill. So yeah. So sex drive, and I think we touched on this before. It's not so much about sex drive. It's about what are you willing to do to please your spouse? Are you willing to sacrifice your body, which is not really a sacrifice because if you are married, you know, your body belongs to each other in the first place. But what are you willing to do to please your other spouse, even if you don't feel like doing it?
You got to take one for the team.
Sometimes you have to take one for the team. And
yes.
that's where compromise comes in, because the person with the high sex drive has to realize I'm not going to have sex every day, right? And then the person with the low sex drive has to realize they've been without sex too long now. It's time to give it up. Now, that could be either gender. I'm not saying which is which.
Right.
But there has to be y'all got to come to the table and a compromise. Okay, my sex drive is high. I want sex 7 days a week. Can we settle on 3?
Right. And
you know what I mean?
And the other person, you know, you got to come to the realization, okay, look now, I know that, you know, I know that I gotta do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And be active in it and participate in it.
You got to participate.
Right.
And then the person with the high sex drive, you can't expect rolling around playing 3 or 4 hours of sex every time you do it. Sometimes it's just going to have to be a quickie. Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the person that's with the low sex drive, you can't just lay there every night. You got to get active. You got to move some muscles.
Miss Sheila said, and Phoebe, I'm coming back to you in a few minutes. Miss Sheila said, what if a woman has a very strong sex drive and the man has used his differently? I think that's what I'm reading. Am I reading?
What if the woman has a very
strong
sex drive and the man has used his differently? Away from you?
Yes, sex is not always in the bed. Sex can be a romantic action. That's what she said.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand it, Michelle.
Yeah. Phoebe, compromise.
Chris said the blue pill is not always the answer because after the first, she may not be able, and then you're stuck. Oh, so you still, you know.
Yeah, because the question is not it's not really a question about physical as far as it's not working. That's not what it's saying. It's saying you don't want to. It's not saying don't have the ability to. You don't want to. Those are two different things. Now, if your body, like Keisha said something earlier about menopause, and I know that changes a woman's drive. And someone told me when a woman has a hysterectomy, that changes her drive, like it increases it and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, menopause can increase or decrease. It just depends on the person.
That's different than.
I'm gonna read it. Go ahead.
Okay, that's different. Not being able to and not wanting to. Those are two different things.
Oh, okay. Oh, what if the man has stepped out the marriage and used his sex drive other places?
Oh.
And your drive is still running strong. Secondly, sex is not always in the bedroom. It can be in the action. So what if the man has stepped outside the marriage and used his sex drive at other places instead on you? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Now, this, I think something similar. Now, it depends on the individual. Keisha and I have been debating this for years. Me personally, that's a deal breaker.
But I told him you can't say that because you never walked in those shoes. You can say it like you can, anybody can say anything if they have not walked in those shoes.
I got a question.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay.
Y'all chime in now.
Yeah,
don't leave
so
us
you said you can't say any definite about a situation until you walked in the shoes. Is that what we're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Question. Okay.
What?
To you. So say I come home tomorrow and say, you know what? I'm tired of working where I work. I'm quitting my job for a year just to go travel. Hold on. I just want to travel and I want to just discover, what I want to be at my ripe old age. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to let you handle the bills for the next year or two till I discover myself. And you handle the house. right? Are you gonna be cool with that?
No,
Why?
because
But you haven't been in, it hasn't happened, so you don't know how you're gonna deal with it, right? Is that a deal breaker?
for me, it
A
is.
man that if I decide I no longer want to provide for this house, is that a deal breaker?
For me, that's a deal breaker
Period.
for me.
That's
but I've
my
been in that
point.
situation before, so there you go.
That's
Deal breaker for me too, Siobhan said, because that breaks trust. And as for me, if I can't trust you, then I can't be with you.
right. So I am saying there are certain things that you do know how you're gonna react.
Wanda said, "Well, it's nice knowing you, Sabah."
Yeah, because she gonna put me out. It's not gonna work. So I disagree with the fact that you say that you can't say that because you haven't experienced. That's not true.
Or maybe I'm saying that from experience. How about that? You understand?
I still agree with my own point.
Okay.
Okay. To me, how many men on this can definitely say they wouldn't sleep with another man? I can say that without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, that's it.
It's not different. It's a definite.
Okay.
There are certain things you know you won't do or put up with. Cheating for me is one of them. That's just me.
You know your deal breaker.
I know my deal breaker. And I'm
Right.
not saying that's for everybody. Because some people, that's your road to travel. Or like they say in church, that's your cross to bear. That ain't mine.
Okay. Well, let's get to the next question. This is more of a comment, I think. It says, we take test drives for almost, what is that? We take test drives for almost everything. Driver's license, admissions to school, colleges, military services. Do you think there needs to be a test drive for marriage?
Before you answer that, cheating, hitting, or calling me out of my name are deal breakers.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. All right.
Did you hear what I said? Do you think there needs to be a test drive for marriage?
Isn't that what the engagement period is for? And the dating period? Isn't that what that is?
Like a test drive.
Isn't that the test drive?
It's called dating. That's what Dylan said. It's called dating.
It's called dating. Right. Now let's carry it a little further. Let's go in another. What's up, Vaughn?
Hey, Vaughn.
What's up, Vaughn? Let's go in another area because I heard some people talk about this. Now, one of the things that people always ask us about when they talk to us about our relationship is, did we live together before we got married?
Right.
And we didn't. And a lot of people are shocked by that. But some people feel like they cannot marry a person if they haven't lived with them to see how they operate in their setting. You know what I'm saying? So we moved in just
the day after date, right? After we got married, right?
After we got married.
Yeah. We moved in after we got married.
But
that was our choice, though.
That was our choice.
Right.
But back to dating and the engagement period, I would think that is the test drive period.
Davita said you never get to know the person until you live with them.
That is true. Well, you get to know all of them. Some of them
hey,
Cheryl, some of them you should know before you get married. Because if you don't, I don't get what you laughing at.
Chris said shacking. Shacking. Okay, go ahead.
Shacking. You get to know other things. There were certain things about Keisha I knew before we moved in together. And then there were certain things about me that she knew before we moved in together. But then there were things that we discovered about each other.
Right. When we moved in together.
When we moved in together.
When we actually moved in.
So the dating and the engagement period should be the test drive, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Say,
yeah, that should be the test drive. You got to know something.
You got to know something. What about sex? For those who wait before you get married, that's another topic, ain't it?
That is.
Ooh, that's God. That's not one of my questions, but what if you waited and got with the person and found out you all were not compatible sexually? What do you do?
I don't know.
What do you do? We talked about sex drives earlier. What about preferences or what pleases you sexually?
Well, you can learn that it's a process. You can learn that. You can teach
Got to test drive that booty.
Listen,
put that on a t-shirt.
You can teach a person what you like.
Chris Bird said, "Are both virgins?" That would be probably a better situation.
Yes, right, exactly.
Even Vaughn said, "I won't wait." Okay. Nicole said, "Bye." Communication therapy.
Yes.
You're gonna need all of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Introduce toys and games.
Right.
But see, what if the person is not into that?
And in role playing and all that.
And role playing. What if this person is more, I guess the word would be traditional sexually? Your toys and games may scare them off and make them uncomfortable.
Absolutely. But that's where compromise comes in.
That's where compromise comes in.
That's where compromise come in. Okay. So here's another question. It says, "How can I communicate to my spouse that we are not in a position to loan money to family members?" How can I communicate to my spouse that we are not in a position to loan money to family members?
Questions and comments still coming in about the last one. I would try to give it some time.
But I have to be satisfied because if I'm honest, I'm not be interested in them anymore.
Ooh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, you got to find them where they're at.
That's a
Yep,
good point.
exactly.
What if they're not a good fit?
fit?
She talking about size.
Straight to the point. Spouse
Straight
we
to the-
broke. Oh, look, that's okay. So he going to this question. Chris.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna read that question one more time because
we
Where is
got
it?
off on a tangent.
yes. How can I communicate to my spouse that we are not in a position to loan money to family members? First of all, your family members, they shouldn't feel that comfortable coming to you to ask you for money
All the time.
all the time.
Man, it's
All the time.
all the
All the
time,
time.
yeah.
That's what I should say.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Right. And then y'all, if that's the case, then y'all need to agree. Okay, we're gonna lend so and so this money. You can't go behind your spouse's back and lend money
Right.
because this is gonna cause an issue. Oh, it's coming out in the wash. Like what am I say?
What that mean?
It's coming out in the wash. Okay.
That's an old.
If you try to
school
go
term.
and be sneaking and giving money to your family members.
Oh, okay. That's
Right.
what I mean. Got you.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, it's coming out. What happens in the dark? What
Okay.
will come out in the light?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So like Chris said, spouse we broke. Well, I don't like to say it's broke. I always say I'm temporarily out of cash.
But to me, I don't care if I'm filthy rich. That's that doesn't mean that I'm gonna just continue to give and give to you. We are not First Union. And thank you, Cheryl. We're not the bank.
and I always was told if any money that you loan, don't expect it back.
Mm,
Right? That's what I was always told.
mm.
You know, because everybody don't like to pay the money back. They get amnesia real quick.
And what we're not saying a spouse that may get in a bind
Right.
and you assist them in help. That's not what we're talking about. I think what the question was more centered towards was consistent, always asking large amounts, not paying back. I
Right.
think that's what it was kind of leaning towards. That you just cut straight off. Oh, this is what I would say. Use sometimes I say to my spouse, you could say I said no. Like for other situations, guys, I don't mind being the bad guy in certain situations.
Right.
Just tell them I said no, we can't do it this time. Be
Right.
straightforward.
Exactly.
And then what'll happen is they'll stop coming to you.
Yeah.
But you can't be sneaky about it. You can't keep going. First of all, that's showing a lack of trust and respect to me. If you were doing that, continue to go behind your spouse back and giving the spouse money.
Yep.
Because like
Well, giving the
I'm sorry, giving the
family
family
members
member money.
right. Shaquan said I had to communicate this with my hubby because he was quick to help and not tell me at 1st.
Uh-huh.
But me being the detective that I am, I would find out.
And see,
It would come out.
that could have caused a serious issue.
Yep.
You know, you sneaking behind your spouse's back, giving money to the family.
It will cause
Especially
issues.
if it's hurting your home.
Yep.
No.
Absolutely. Cheryl said we're a union, not their bank. Absolutely. I ain't got it, Craig.
I ain't got it, Craig.
You're
Well,
right.
I have it. You don't have it, Craig. Yeah. I got it. But that don't mean you're gonna get it.
Exactly. Start counting my coins.
You have to keep family at a distance. You love them, but when it comes to your marriage, I am a serious advocate of this. You keep them at bay on certain issues. On most issues. You love them, you know, but on certain stuff, you have to keep an arm's length, keep them away out of your business.
What if it's your parents?
Same.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, you have to. Your parents, they can't keep coming to you every day, like every week, like he's saying.
Right. If
Look,
it's one every blue moon,
I love you, right?
Every blue moon, of course, you're gonna help your parents if you're in that position.
Most definitely.
But if it's every month you need help with your bills,
right?
Mm-mm.
Not every week.
Not every week, every month.
No.
Unless we just balling like that, and that's a different.
Right, and I want to bless you.
And we want to bless you,
Right.
but that'll be up to us.
Absolutely.
And God.
Absolutely. All right, here's another one. My spouse is harder on our own children than my child, their stepchild from a previous relationship. Why do you think this is? I'm gonna read it again. My
weakness is the grandchild.
My spouse is harder on our own children than on their own children than on my child from a previous relationship, I guess, their stepchild. Why do you think this is?
So the spouse is more strict, harder on the biological kids that him and the spouse has together, correct?
Yes.
Than
that's what
they
it sounds
are on the other child that is from a previous relationship. So the stepchild,
Right,
basically.
right.
Okay.
Well, we don't like to say that word, but yeah,
Well, yeah,
for the
yeah.
sake of this question.
For the sake of this question.
So
yes,
why do
they
you
can.
think that is?
Now, I can kind of answer that, even though I don't have any biological kids of my own. But I do think if I did, I would probably feel more secure in the love and relationship, and now know they're not gonna go anywhere, as opposed to the child that is not biologically mine. So you would tend to walk on eggshells more with the step or non-biological child. If I had to take a guess at it, being that I'm kind of experienced that a little bit, even though I don't have any bio kids. My bonus child, there you go, bonus child. So I would feel more secure with my biological kids, not leaving or stopping loving me, as opposed to the bonus child.
Okay, Cheryl said because there's an outside party that you have to communicate with. Is she talking about other parent?
Well, the other parent doesn't really play a part in this, even though you do. You will hope you will be able to communicate with them.
Davida said boundaries within the co-parenting of the spouse and the other parent.
Right.
So boundaries. I can honestly say that I used to get my bonus son as quick as I would my kids.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be, even though it's a bonus kid, and if there's multiple children, the discipline, the parenting, the giving of gifts and allowances, if that or chores, it should be even.
It should be even.
It shouldn't be based off if you came from my body or not, or whether I birthed you or not. We all one family. It should be evenly spread.
Right. And the kids shouldn't be able to tell a difference.
Because the kids pick up on that.
Oh, yes, they do.
Children will pick up on that.
Cheryl said the other parent plays a significant part in my daughter's life as far as
child rearing. Okay, that's you're one of the few,
right?
You know, because a lot of people don't experience that.
LaDawn said, "Hey, LaDawn."
Hey, LaDawn.
LaDawn said, "There's a boundary at the end of the day that you don't want to cross."
Exactly.
That cause more problems.
It causes more problems.
That's what it's going
to do. Because you could not only would it cause problems with the child, it could cause problems between you and your spouse.
Yep.
It could cause problems, I think, to Cheryl's point, to the other parent that if they're involved. So you just opening up a whole can of worms is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Dolly says, I agree with you, Savalis. It's not an instant love with your bonus child like it is with your natural
That's
child.
what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. That love with your biological kids is more instinctive. You know what I'm saying? You earn the love of the bonus child. You know, whether you want step parents, bonus parents, whether you want it, you have to earn that love and trust. And, you know, so you're more cautious of losing it. Thank you, darling. You helped me so much. Get this out. You're more cautious of losing that because you just know your bio kid is not going anywhere. But right. you still iffy about, you know, I already had to earn this. Lord knows I don't want to have to start over and lose it. So that would be my answer to that question.
What do you feel like that's a constant battle? Like, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like if the other parent is in their ear.
If the other parent is in their ear, yes, it is going to be a constant battle. Absolutely.
Right.
And you know what? Even if it's not, you still gonna feel maybe a certain way, like, you know, I don't want to lose that trust or that bond that we already got back to this certain level.
Right. At what point do you stop feeling like that?
I don't know if you ever do.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if you ever do. No, okay. if sadly, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you never do. I don't know. You just go on.
Okay. Yeah. Here's another question. How do you communicate to your that was it. How can you get your spouse to understand that they put the kids before you?
Ooh.
So apparently the spouse is putting the kids before, you know, the other spouse. But the other spouse doesn't understand that they are
doing it.
Yeah, that they're doing it. A bonus child's like, okay, right. So let's go back to that bonus child because this is a hot topic.
Okay.
So Dolly said it's not a constant battle. It's not a constant battle. My bonus child is like a natural child after 23 years.
Well, the reason why I said that, and I won't get into it, but our situation is a little different. I think we maybe have touched on it. What there was a I'll say this to Dylan, and you all will understand. Hope that child knew you were his bonus parent from the jump. Is that a clean way of saying? Is that a good way of saying it?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So if the child doesn't know that from the jump, but it is discovered, it's a whole different dynamic. And I'm walking on eggshells even by saying that.
LaDon is disagreeing with Dylan.
LaDon said yes, it is.
But I think it depends on the person too.
It depends on the relationship
right?
with the child.
I think it depends on the person too.
Yeah.
Because I always admired the way that Dylan took in, if you don't mind me sharing, Dylan, I'm sorry. Right. I always admired the way Dylan treated his, bonus child. Right. So I think it depends upon the person.
It depends on the person.
Right.
So y'all agree with what I said? Yeah. The Dylan situation is unique, but well, not unique, but it's the difference when the bonus child knows from the jump, you are my bonus parent. But when they find out, that leads to a whole nother dynamic.
Right.
So,
but what if they didn't know it, like before they found out, is what I'm saying. It's still a constant battle?
I don't think so.
I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I raised him till he looked like me.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So
I forgot what the other question was.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So the other question is, how can I get my spouse to understand that they put the kids before me?
Okay, got you.
Right. I just admitted it. Thank you to communicate to my spouse.
I just admitted it. Thank you. Thank you to I communicate to my spouse.
My take on an issue is responsibility to incorporate if he wants into his communication with the co-parent.
Okay, she's still talking about other topic. Okay.
Yes, it can be. I came a bonus son in my life when he was 8 and now 18, and I try to watch what I say and do sometimes. That's the constant battle.
That's the constant battle.
So that's the constant battle. Okay, it depends on if the child is in the home too.
That makes because if they're not in a home, then you all may not have as strong a relationship. You know what I mean? As opposed to them living with you.
Right. But if they're in the home, at some point it shouldn't be a constant battle. That's just
shouldn't be
opinion on it.
But it may. I mean, this is one of the few times that I have experienced in a situation that she doesn't, because she doesn't have bonus children.
No, I don't.
You know what I mean? This, what this really speaks. It speaks to how many homes where there is bonus parents and children living in. So many people can relate to this.
Right. So many people can, but I mean, I don't know. Like you said, I don't have bonus children. Right. But to be very honest with y'all, I wish, I know this sounds crazy. It might sound crazy to somebody like, please don't wish for, I wish that I did. Right. I'm going to tell you why. This is why. Not wish, but I,
could experience it.
Yes. Right. But with a good,
but see, you don't get
to right.
You don't get to decide.
And the reason why I say that is because, I have biological children. Savalas doesn't have biological children, right? And so the nurturing part. You understand what I'm saying? He's a nurturer, but he had to really learn that.
Right. That's right.
So I felt like if he had a child, that would come easier to him.
Right.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense.
That makes sense.
That would come much easier to him. So, I mean, that's why I say those things. And, because, as parents now, we're going to ride and die for our kids and our spouses. Okay.
But go ahead, I'll let you finish.
No, it's no but. I'm just saying. So I felt like if he had a child, he would know what I'm talking about.
It would have happened quicker.
Right. Is what I'm saying.
Right. And I agree with that.
Right. I'm trying to explain it.
I agree with that.
Devita said never talk negatively to or around the children regarding their parents. Absolutely. I agree with that. That Charles' mother can make or break sometimes in your marriage depending on the things that she does. Oh, that child's mother. Right. That's
or father.
With a good baby mama.
See, but to that point, you don't get to decide if it's a good baby mother or baby father. You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't get to make that decision. So, as a bonus parent, you just step into the situation and you decide to deal with whatever comes. That's why I have so much respect for bonus parents, myself included, because we do a job that a lot of people don't do or want to do.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The thing is, like, say for example, if your child do something, we're gonna be angry, we're gonna be upset with them, but you still gonna like let that go. Sometimes I feel like, not you, sometimes I feel like that, the person that's a bonus parent, they can't let it go as easy. You understand what I'm saying?
Maybe, because it depends on the severity of what was done. And plus, when it comes to us, Keisha is more of, it happened, let it go. It happened, let it go tight. I have to work on it happened, let it go, because I hold stuff longer. Right. It ain't got nothing to do with if you got my blood or not. That's just me.
But see, how can you say that, right? If you don't have,
because I've done it with people.
Okay.
So I can say that. But I've gotten so much better to, now that's one of the things about her that I try to draw from. She can let stuff go like that. I gotta go over it. I gotta go over it in my mind. Why did this happen? How did this happen? Was it something I said? Was it they did? What can I do to hopefully this won't happen again? We just different in that way.
I got to reply back to Amanda. The devil is a liar.
What are you talking about?
I ain't doing that, Amanda. Y'all can go ahead and start over like that.
Absolutely not.
No, ma'am.
Absolutely
no,
not.
ma'am.
Children are wonderful. They're blessings from God, but absolutely not.
No, ma'am.
Absolutely not.
We're not having no more over here.
No.
Me too, Savalis. That's what Shaquan said.
Thank you, Shaquan. Thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
We're trying to get to this other question, but like I said,
it.
No, we didn't answer the one about the kids coming before the parent. We never answered because people still
okay.
See?
It's something else. The only way to explain being a bonus parent. Well, I guess I would never know, right? So
no, you won't.
Okay.
Because there's no little Savalas Juniors running around nowhere. No, actually, I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries. Now, let me say that. Now, I don't take joy in that. What I said, that's something about myself I don't like, and that's why I work on it. I don't like that I hold on to stuff. I hate that about me. Now that it became more prevalent when I got with my wife, because she is the complete opposite. So I don't take joy. I'm not bragging about that. That's something that I have to work on, letting stuff go. You know what I mean? I don't like that about me. It's a terrible characteristic flaw to be someone who holds grudges. It sucks. Now, I can say that at my age now. 20, 30 years ago, no, it is what it is. But now that I got some gray, you know what I'm saying? I that's something that I have to work on. I have matured.
You have matured.
I have matured.
Everybody said that explains the Aries.
That explains the Aries? Oh, that's an Aries thing?
Okay, so this is the last question. How can you get your spouse to understand that they put the kids before you?
LaDawn says I'm not the only one. Okay, LaDawn, let's pray for each other. I'm sorry. This is the last question, y'all.
So your spouse feels like you put the kids before them. How about that?
Okay.
That's what this person is saying. How can I communicate that to them? Like, you put the kids before me.
Okay. Like most things that we've talked about tonight, you got to be straight up. But like Keisha always say, you can do that, but are they going to accept it?
Right. And is your spouse actively listening?
Are they listening? Right. Communication is one thing. Comprehension is so much better.
Or they going into defense mode?
Or they go into defense mode? Now, since we've been now, that is something that I would have an issue with.
What?
The kids coming before me, because I would never do that to her.
Mm.
Now, early on in our marriage, I had to show her some grace, because for years it was just her and the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So she had to work on that.
And that was the work.
That was work.
That was a work. It's still a work in progress,
but
it's much better.
Yes, it is. But and she told me, she's like, listen, it's been me and them. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? She got a point. I wanted her to immediately, I'm the king.
Oh, no.
No, it didn't work that way. Because before I was the king, she was a queen to those children. And it was just them. She was the sole provider, the caregiver, the security, the decision maker.
Yeah.
It was them. I was earning my way into that. You know what I'm saying? So it took some time. It took some arguments. It took some, letting her know, hey, it don't work this way. I remember something that's funny that we laughed about, but when she would fix plates, And I remember I got up to eat, and she had fixed Zion plate first. I'm like, hold up. He didn't go to work this morning. He went to daycare. This Negro should not be eating before me. And she was like, I didn't realize because that was the norm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I brought it to her attention, and it switched.
Right. Davida said, straight to the point, remind them that this is a team.
Right.
It's
in the house.
In the house, we are one with the husband being the head. It depends on the situation. Do the kids need me now or can it wait?
Okay, yeah. Certain situations may call for the child to come before me. Emergency.
Right.
Him getting his chicken before me is not an emergency.
Right. Richie said, hey, Richie. Richie said, just say it and then go to the other room and wait for things to blow.
So you think that's going to cause an argument, Richie? Is that what you're saying?
Shaquan said, to be honest, at first, I was like that when me and my husband got together because I felt I had to make sure my kids felt like I loved them and I felt like I love him more than them.
That's an excellent point.
That is an excellent
Did you feel that way too?
I think I did.
That's
I think
an
I
excellent
did.
point.
Absolutely.
That's
because
excellent.
it was new for all of us. Right. You bring another person into the mix. Right. When y'all had a good thing going. And then you bring in another person into the mix. So yes, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Communicate and give examples of how they're doing it so the spouse can see.
Right, because she didn't realize that she was doing that. That's why it was funny at the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I've been through the same thing. That's what Phoebe said. Good point. Yes, sir. Richie said yes, sir, to what you had asked.
If they blow up, then y'all got a whole nother issue. Somebody said, then that's someone who's not understanding structure, order, and teamwork. To me, if they blow up about that, especially if you present it to them in the right way.
Right. It says feed both your babies. That's what Cheryl said.
After me.
She's saying you and Zion.
Oh no, I'm baby one.
Shaquan, my kids were so close to their dad. Yes. And my kids were so close to their dad. That's what Shaquan
That's a good point though, because kids may feel like you are taking the love away from them. I never thought about it that way.
And they probably do. They probably feel like that, but they probably feel like they can't communicate that to you.
Right.
Because you are the adult. And I can't, if I come talk to you, you know what I'm saying? That's conflicting. So, yeah, they probably do feel that way.
Right.
Comprehending.
Yes.
When you go talk to your spouse. I think that's what he's saying. Comprehending.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's just an adjustment period that the children and the parent has to go through.
It's a huge adjustment.
It's a very huge adjustment period.
We went through it. It can get very messy.
It can get messy.
Yeah, it can get very messy. Because look, you over there like, look now, not because they're fixing the plate, just in general.
That was just
things in general. Yeah, that's just an example. Like, look now.
Because in her situation, her instinct was to take care of the kids first because she was the only parent.
Yep.
So, she couldn't immediately say, oh, my husband first. No, it did not work that way. Right? Am I right? It didn't work that way because she was used to something needs to be done. It's the kids and me. That was an adjustment. I was working my way. Like I told y'all, we didn't live together before we got married.
And it was even an adjustment
for me too.
Yeah, I'm just saying to take the kids out of it. It was an adjustment for me to let him handle stuff in the house, right? Because I'm so used to just taking control. I'm so used to, I was, I'm so used to taking control until I wore myself out. And then I get mad at him. Right. Because I didn't let him handle it. I didn't trust him enough to handle it.
Right.
Because I wanted to make sure it was done right. Or let me call this person when he should have been the one doing it the whole time.
Right.
So I had to realize I had to relax and I had to trust him enough to let him make decisions. Right. For this family. That was hard.
Relinquishing power was what it was.
Relinquishing power.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Because
that was hard.
That was hard.
That was really hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But like I said, looking back on it now, I get it now because if she had to have the power because she had a household to take care of by herself. You know what I'm saying? So when I came into the picture, because I became a husband and a father immediately.
That was hard.
That was a lot. That was a lot for me. So I had to earn that. And slowly but surely over. See, people want these instant marriage. People want microwave marriages. You're not going to get that. You don't get a microwave marriage. It takes time for it to settle and cook and get to that right temperature to where it's edible and it has a good taste to it. It's work. We've been together 20 years, married 16, and we still etching out stuff. You know, you don't look for the instant quick marriage. Happy marriage, should I say. It takes time because you got to carve away a lot of thoughts and beliefs that you grew up with, that you used to, that you thought was right.
Yep.
You know, crock pot.
Absolutely.
Crock pot marriages. That's the name of our retreat. That's an excellent point. Let that thing simmer slow.
Yes, and she said she had been doing it for so long. It was second nature. It was.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it was second nature.
We don't want microwave marriages. We want what kind of marriages? Everybody put in the comment. Crock pot marriage. That is excellent. That's what I was trying to say.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I was. That is perfect. I don't know. I can't add nothing else to that. Let that simmer. I can't add nothing else to that. Excellent.
So when it come out ready, it's ready to go.
Crock pot marriage.
Right,
That's
exactly.
great.
Crock pot marriage.
Crock pot marriage. That's excellent.
So this was some good questions. So these are the questions. We had more, but we discussed those Saturday. So
yeah, we didn't go through all of them.
Right. These are the ones that, well, maybe one we went through on Saturday, but these are the ones that was submitted on Saturday that we did not get to. So, and like I said, this is normally a hot topic in the. It's
normally the highlight of our events. Would you say?
Yeah. Because we was trying to cut it out, and somebody was like, "You gotta do the questions.
Yeah.
How can you not do the questions?"
Yeah, because we was like, okay, we've been doing that forever. You know, that's how we felt. But what we had to realize is everybody.
What was Saturday? You was there, Amanda. That was last Saturday at Link Brunch.
At the brunch.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. What we had to realize is everybody hasn't been as involved in marriage events, date nights, whatever, like we have been, we have.
Amanda said, when is the next event? Well, we're planning a retreat for next year. So hopefully we gonna be in communication about that this week. But we'll have something on a smaller scale, and I'll let you know for sure.
Maybe Valentine's, or that too soon?
We'll have something. I don't know. Okay, we'll have something on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
But we're working on this retreat. We're trying to get. I'm fun. Listen, for those who know me, and most of y'all do, I'm funny about where I lay my head.
Right.
I sleep in a car because I ain't standing no.
Right.
And so the hotel has to be, or wherever we choose, it has to be right.
Right.
Okay. So that's probably the holdup.
But that's a good
one of the holdups.
That's a good holdup. And not only is she that way, we don't want to charge people and y'all walk into some crap.
Right. No, we don't do that. We operate in the spirit of excellence.
We operate in the spirit of excellence, and we have respect for those who spend money on us.
Right.
Or spend money with us, or do whatever you want to call it. Support us. Yeah.
So that's what's, we trying to find.
It has to be right.
Yeah. Very nice.
It has to be right. It has to be a nice place. We want to plan the weekend down to the T.
Absolutely.
So that you will get everything out of the marriage retreat that you're looking for, and maybe some stuff you're not looking for.
Yep.
So we'd rather take our time. We'd rather a crock pot marriage retreat as opposed to a microwave marriage retreat.
Exactly.
Period.
That's how we're going to end tonight.
That's how we're going to end tonight. Amanda said Christmas.
Yeah, we'll see about Christmas too. We'll see. Them setbacks we had, but we'll see.
What God
has in store for us.
Yeah. So thank you once again to everyone who joined us on tonight. All of you who shared, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who came to the event link on the 7th. Was it? October the 7th. Thank you so much. And I guess maybe for you all who didn't see the video, maybe we can play it out.
So look, before we leave out, y'all, if you have any questions like we read tonight, anything A to Z, you can submit them to us. Inbox us. Of course, we won't say your name or anything like that, and it will be very private.
Yes.
And we'll read it out, and so maybe you can get some advice from somebody who may be going through the same thing. So we're always looking for questions, and
Crystal Rayner has a question.
Hey, Crystal, are singles allowed to go to the marriage retreat?
This is a retreat for married couples.
Right. It would be.
This would be a retreat for married couples. Sorry, Crystal.
But our event that we just had,
the one we had
dating and
well, that's still single.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. But the retreat is for married couples only.
Right. So we'll have something else though.
Yeah.
That will invite dating and engaged. But
yeah.
Thank you for asking. That was a good question.
Excellent question.
Thank you for asking. So thank you all. We love you all. We'll see you again, and not next week, but the week after, which will be October
Halloween.
the 31st.
Mhm.
So,
we like we always do. We will be praying for your marriages.
yes.
Pray for ours. For you all who single, who desire to be married, we are praying for you also.
Absolutely.
Keep us in prayer. That the Lord will cover our marriages, and then we will continue to do what it is that we've been called to do.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna play this video for maybe you all who didn't just get a little glimpse of what we had on the 7th. And
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.